All right, guys, here we go. Those of you that have been following along know that we've been building to this moment. On day one of this little series here, we opened a huge lot of probably, I don't know, 20 to 30 plus ordinary rarity sample cards. The next day we did, call it 10 to 15, maybe 20 exceptional cards. And then yesterday we looked at 5 exceptional rarity sample cards from Sorcery TCG. Now today I said that I would have at least one unique rarity card to show you, but things change quickly here at the Collector Art House. You never know, day to day. I'm always surprised at what comes forward and who reaches out. And today I got this delivery. I was expecting this might happen today, and the guy said, "Hey, open this on video. This is a high value shipment. So let's just get it on camera." And yes, of course we will. So let me move the mic out of the way. Hopefully it won't be too loud cracking this. Just give me a moment. All right, let's see what's inside. Now, I know this is going to be a variety of cards. I think it's all just Sorcery TCG cards, sample cards of various rarities. I don't know the precise quantity of each, but this is going to be a significant collection, I believe. A first of its kind on YouTube, of sorts. Nice little Dragon Shield box, feels kind of heavy. So I think we have a good amount in there. And then another box here. Dynasty. What? It's Sorcery, don't worry. All right, here we go. Yeah, let's start with the box and then get that out of here. No offense to Flesh and Blood. Nice little game. Just not my thing. I love Sorcery. I love the artwork. I love that it's all hand-painted. I love... Oh my god. Right on top. All right. Hold that thought. I lose my mind on that one. All right, hang on. Let's see what's in the box. And then we'll go to the big box. Oh my god. It's an insane amount of cards. All right. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but this is a bit more than what I expected. Let me get this out of here. Hang on. All right, guys. Wow. Let's we got a lot of Sorcery sample cards here. So I have a feeling I'm not going to have the same kind of time for story time here as I go through. Or, you know, someone told me I should do these cards one at a time. I'm blowing an opportunity to do YouTube shorts. That's what the algorithm likes. You know, I can milk this thing for eternity here, but I don't know. I like long form. That's what I do. I watch everything. I'm into like watching YouTube stuff. I don't care if it's 10 minutes. It's actually kind of disappointing when it's 10 minutes to me, honestly. I'd rather have a 30, 40-minute video and just 1.5x to 2x it. And my hands look like catcher's mitts when I zoom in like that. The camera adds about 50 pounds. All right. Anyway, yeah, so I like to talk about the cards. I like taking my time. I like talking about the artists, telling you guys stories of what I know from interviewing some of these folks or just, you know, talking to people, different artists. I actually wrote a Behind the Art feature today that I posted at www.collectorarthouse.com for Skirmishers of Mew. That's a beautiful artwork by Vincent Pompetti. And I bet we're going to find some Vincent Pompetti cards in here today. But, man, this is quite a stack. So let's just start going through it and see what happens. Like I say, I don't know the order. I don't know what's in here precisely. But let's just see what we get. All right, Alan Pollock. Exceptional quick magic of great magnitude. So this is enlarge. This is interesting. They changed the name of this card in its latest alpha version. And not only that, but I believe, if I remember correctly, I think this is a unique rarity now. So you see it's an exceptional, and it had a massive upgrade to the most rare rarity for enlarge. So that's a unique. There's not a lot of uniques in the game. I want to say 50 to 60 or so off the cuff, maybe 60 realm. And you can only have one in each deck, and they're pretty rare. They're going to be pretty rare to pull in alpha. So this It's exceptional rarity level, so there'll be a bit more of them as sample cards. But, you know, the exceptionals, elites, and uniques are still very, very rare as sample cards. I don't know that you'll ever see a collection this large on YouTube from a single person having sample cards. You know, these are insanely rare. So, you know, that's what the channel's all about. You're going to find things here that you won't find anywhere else. So hopefully you enjoy it, guys, and I appreciate your interest in following along. All right, next, Guile Sirens. Wow, this is one of my favorite artworks. Let me pull that close to the camera. Elvira Shakarova, absolutely incredible artist. She's one of the artists I work with. I've talked to her quite a bit. We got some special projects coming up with some hand-embellished prints that we've been talking about. But this is one of my very favorite artworks by her. Just the color tones and just the depth of this. Under this text box, there's a little more going on as well, too. If you go to collectorarthouse.com and go to the Sorcery art gallery page, you're going to find what's under that box. And look at all of Elvira's artworks. Unless you don't want a spoiler, you want to wait and open it in a pack and try to get the foil card with the full art on the back. You'll discover what's under that box when you see the full art version. But this one, nothing too dramatic under there, as I recall. But some of the others, there's some fun little Easter eggs she has tucked away. She's got a great personality and pretty humorous and funny and just a cool person. All right, let's see. Losing my focus here. Let me try messing with the lighting for a moment. Sit tight. Hang on. All right, I'm back. I don't edit, guys. It's like a live stream that's recorded, basically. I just don't edit. I don't know how to do it yet. All right, so here we go. Ice Lance. Still getting a bit of glare. Hopefully this will... If I shut down one of these monitors. All right, so some are coming in better than others. If I hold them lower, it comes in a little better, so I'll just do that. All right, so Ice Lance. This one is by Brian Smith. I love the blues that Brian uses in his background. Again, like I talked about this in one of my prior videos where it doesn't come across on camera as nice as these cards truly are in person. You know, the color tones come across a little light, a little discolored or misrepresented or differently represented from what they actually look like in person. And these cards look phenomenal. This one is really cool because it has the splash damage or like the grid damage base effect from left to right. I think I either talked about this in an article or a prior video. I can't remember if I did a behind the art on this one or not, but I did an interview with Brian and I talked about how this one, like the top-down design from title to illustration to game mechanic is really tight on this one. And it is for a lot of the cards. Like Eric put a lot of attention and focus into that. Probably both Eric and Nick and Emberleaf and all the guys working the design, you know? So it says deal 5, 3, and 1 damage. So you see the 5, 3, and 1. And then these guys, like on the skewer here, are being skewered by this sword, or I think he called it like a light pole when I talked to Brian Smith. They go from large to small, you know, like the 5, 3, 1. So it kind of mirrors the effect, which is awesome, you know? It's just great attention to detail in this game. That's why it's so great. All right, Imperial Pikemen. So we got 2 of these. I'm pretty sure, did I show this before? Or it might have been the Longbowman. I talked about how I was interested in purchasing this one and or the Longbowman from Mr. Andrea Modesti, but those are his 2 favorite artworks that he had done personally, and he's not selling right now. So just got to hold on to the dream for the future that maybe he'll change his mind. All right, Accursed Albatross. That's Vincent Pompetti. Nice, classic-looking... watercolor artwork in his usual style. Wow, here's another one. So we've seen one of these before, guys. This is the Kite Archer. I say wow because this is another one of my favorites from Vincent. This one and the Skirmishers of Mew really stand out to me from him. Big fan favorites. Ooh, the Highland Falconer. Now this one, this is interesting too, because I'm recalling from the latest alpha update and the latest tabletop simulator update that this has changed, I believe, from a exceptional rarity, as you see here. Got to mess with the light color. To a, I want to say it's an elite now. It's not getting better, is it? All right, we'll go with that. It's a little warmer lighting. So yeah, that's what these are all about. These sample cards, they're early design, right? A lot's changed since then, so that's been upgraded as well. Land Surveyor, Asi Haikala. Now this one's interesting. It says Asi on there, so that's correct as stated. I think in an early print file or print and play version, I had posted a version on my website that I found, and it said Jeff Menges. So they had the wrong name, and Jeff reached out and he's like, "Hey, that's not my card." And I was like, "Oh, wow, it looks like it almost could be his style in a way, but yeah, that's Asi." So they got that corrected, so that's cool. They got it corrected early on if it's in a sample card. That's a nice one. Sedge Crabs, also Asi Haikala. So I did a behind the art feature on the Sedge Crabs by Asi. You should go check that out. It's a funny story. This is from a men's magazine from like the 50s or 60s. That's kind of like I said last time, Asi's an old soul, young guy that likes this older stuff. And apparently Eric does too, because this is like right out of that. It's like a classic artwork that's very popular and famous. There's a lot of character in Sorcery. There's a lot of rich history. Eric must be a well-read guy. I don't know. I've had to research a lot of this stuff to kind of dig into the details and understand the backgrounds. But it's this incredible breadth and depth of storytelling. No lore, no cohesive lore, but like just the storytelling of the cards, of the names, of the artworks. Really exceptional. All right, so this is the Bullfrog. I won't try to pronounce that one. Maybe I will. Brobdingnag Bullfrog by Mikhail Nagypal. That's a pretty cool one. Look at that chubby little guy. He looks happy. Or menacing. I don't know. He looks dangerous. But it says an exceptional beast with a giant appetite. And the effect of this card is hilarious. This Bullfrog swallows and carries the first minion it attacks in its belly until it leaves play. Part of the flavor and character of Sorcery. You look at it and you're like, that frog probably eats things. And that's exactly what it does. All right, Riptide, ordinary magic to trap the unwary. Marta Molina. So that's an interesting one by Marta because she's done a lot of landscape artwork and only a few in the vertical portrait style that are from the spell deck. So you have the spell deck and then the Atlas site cards in the landscape mode because she's like a real landscape artist. It's interesting that Eric had her do a painting in this style. Because she does a lot of MTG altars of all the different MTG lands, and all her landscape art is really phenomenal. All right, let's see. We're 12 minutes in, and we're probably not even a quarter of the way through. All right, so we'll keep going. Common Sense, I talked about in a prior video, Mr. Drew Tucker. So I'll skip that one. Elvira Shakarova, Deep Sea Mermaids. Man, this one is really beautiful as well. Again, I apologize for that glare. I'll just keep it low. This is a real awesome undersea type image, very colorful. You got to wait till you see that card in person. You're gonna like that one. Swan Mermaids, the classic Asi Haikala. Again, that's a really nice artwork. These large swans and this lady's arm is kind of like, it seems like it transformed into the wing or arm of a swan. So that's kind of interesting. Upon our souls they dance, a gentle ballet of hopes and dreams. Ordinary mortal beasts of magnificent grace. I kind of want to ask him about the background on that one. That's pretty interesting artwork. The Tough Turtles, Mr. Matt Thames. Matt did the river artwork. The 3 rivers that are the primary mana sources and lands within the water decks or archetyped. That's a pretty cool one by Matt. Dodge Roll, Vincent Pompetti. So I again, in my interview with Vincent, he talks about this one. He said this was, I think he called it one of his favorites, or I know he was talking about the action and how to capture motion in an illustration, and he thought this characterized it very well. It's kind of interesting because his original artwork was like this large elephant trampling this little guy, but then he worked with Eric. Eric had a different vision for it, and Vincent really liked it in the end. So go check out the story on that one or my interview with Vincent to get the details there. But you get that perspective of scale of this very large ogre-looking guy, and then this little guy about to get bashed by him. Target minion in harm's way moves to an adjacent location. Cancel the attack or spell targeting the minion. So this guy's evading the attack, just like the game mechanic. Perfect. Instant Recall. Really nice one. I know you guys like this one. A lot of guys in the Discord it's just really cool how these like bolts of lightning are coming down on these guys, or bolts of light, interpreted how you will. Exceptional magic of quick and last resort. Instant recall. That's awesome. Extinguish. Wow, this one really struck me from Brian. It's just so colorful. Again, you got to see this in person. The flames are more red, more bright. It's coming across very orangish on the camera, but this is a beautiful artwork by him. Super cool, and a lot of motion and just depth to that spiral there. All right, Entangled Terrain, Mr. Drew Tucker. Drew's an awesome guy. He's done over 20 pieces for this game. Magic Legend from the Alpha Magic and now Alpha Sorcery. Love all of Drew's stuff. Cone of Flame. Wow. I forgot this was in here. Cone of Flame by Dan Seagrave. Dan Seagrave is amazing. And this one is like so cool because, again, the pattern of damage follows the image. It's almost actually an inverse. Like it goes large to small and narrows on this guy at the top here. But it's opposite here in the splash damage. I'll have to go back and see in the latest version if maybe they changed that, or that's pretty interesting. You know, you have like the predominant damage at the lower part, and then like more of a spread or splash from the top. So that's pretty cool. And the mechanic is splash damage. All right, next one, Boss Troll, Vasily Ermolaev. Vasily, you know, he's got a very distinct style. You can never miss a Vasily artwork. He's a Russian artist, great guy. You know, that's really cool. I hope there's more Vasily artwork in there that I can feature. All right, Truant Parish. This is summon a 1-power foot soldier. So this is one of those that's going to summon those cool little pint-size token guys. There's 3 foot soldiers done by Andrea Modesti, and it's actually pretty fitting for this artwork because it has some Andrea Modesti vibes in a way. But True, it's awesome. He's the first guy I interviewed. I think the very first interview I did, if you go to my website and check that out. Very talented young guy. He's kind of like an athlete, and he's also an artist. And he's, you know, I think he just recently graduated a few years ago, and he's got some phenomenal artwork for this game and for the alpha debut. So great for him on getting a early career break and breakthrough and quick ramp for his art career. All right, the Cyclopean Mummies. Man, Jeff Easley, this is one of my favorites for him for sure. Like these zombies coming out of this sewer and just this, whatever these flame things are coming up with the burrowing mechanic. It's just, the art's just perfect for the card, for the game mechanic, per usual. And, you know, just the detail on these zombies. Another one you got to see him imperfect to fully appreciate. Just there's so much detail with this door or passageway in the back, and these zombies coming out to get you. These mummies, or not zombies, mummies. These mummies enter play burrowed on any site. I think they changed the name on that one, so that's another title change. Autumn Unicorn. We saw this one before too. Gorgeous artwork by Severin Pinot, one of my very favorite artists. Hard to have favorites. I love them all, but you know, I'm partial to Severin a little bit. I own one of her paintings, so I'm super excited about that. The Autumn Unicorn's beautiful. Black Scorpion. We've seen this one before. Mikhail Nagypal. This was included in the collector tier allocation, so that's a pretty cool one. They definitely changed the name of that one as well. Amazon Warriors. We saw in a prior video by Elvira Shakarova. We got Jeff Menges. Again, the Bone Ramble. This looks like a classic Jeff Menges card. You know, it looks like it's right out of MTG Alpha, like he did it 30 years ago. That's what's super cool about that. You know, I saw like the very first artwork that Jeff had published. I have the magazine. I forget if I showed it on the channel here yet or not, but I went and I bought it from Dragon Magazine. It was the very first published piece by Jeff, and it's just like amazing how like that young and early in his career, he had such immense talent. And he's just kind of honed that and refined that over the years and gotten better and better and better. But that first one looks like he could have done it this year, in my opinion. I mean, it's a full page or 2-page spread almost of the artwork. It covers almost a full 2 pages. I think there was some text on the side, but that one, you know, he's just a phenomenal guy. Oh, and here you go, another Jeff Menges, Ogre Goons. Great artist. I love the goons. The ordinary monsters are out of control. These ordinary monsters are out of control. These goons must attack an enemy minion if able. So they can't help themselves but bludgeon you. That's amazing. Ordinary Counterspell. Wow. Francesca Beralde. You know, this is an ordinary card, but you see it and you just get excited because it's phenomenal. She's a cartographer, does map work, but she does these like amazing illustrations where all her art in the game are just super striking and just so fun. A mundane moment, easily dismissed. Because you're countering it, countering the spell. Boom. Jeff Easley, roaming monster. Man, this is a big one too. Now, funny story here. It says an ordinary monster appears out of nowhere. Summon this monster to any site, and then the flavor text says out of the blue, which Eric claims was coincidental. He didn't know that the Jeff was going to do the blue background and this roaming monster emerging out of the blue. Just kind of like, hey, he emerges out of the blue. But there's a literal translation to the artwork. So it's kind of funny background and perfectly fitting. The Fenvale Muse, I'm pretty sure this was another one in collector tier. So the original artwork, I think the guy was playing with the idea of potentially selling that artwork, so we'll see if it comes to market. But another real nice one by Jeff Menges, real classic looking. Ooh, the Root Spider, Melissa Benson. Any Melissa Benson artwork is a great artwork. It's just so colorful and vibrant and creative. That's a real cool one. Root Spiders. Andrea Modesti, Simple Village. So he has these 3 land cards for the Earth deck, and all 3 are just gorgeous. I interviewed him. He told me about the background. I forget if he said these were kind of like in the Alps, or was it Switzerland or Italy? You know, he's from that general region. People in Europe live the dream and travel a lot, and surrounded by beauty there. Especially in that part of Europe. He lives in Italy, so easy access to other areas, and he draws inspiration from them. So go check out my article or my interview with him and learn more about that. That's really cool. Oh, Francesca Berald. I think this is the first time I've held this one and seen this one. Unland Eel. Again, another one. There's just so much going on in her artwork. So much depth and color and detail. Man, this is crazy. Look at that. I must have it on the wrong mode, guys. Apologize. I'll have to play with the camera. Maybe I messed up the setting. I don't know. It looks better when I hold it lower, but that's a great one by Francesca. I might slap these in a binder and have like an epic reveal of how your binders are going to look once you have a bunch of sorcery cards. But anyway, Tony Sudlow, Unearth. I've told a few stories about Tony in the last few days about his early beginnings, and I mentioned, he was away from doing professional commissions and real artwork on any level for the past, I want to say 15 years. He told me he was like a prison guard. So Tony's kind of like a tough guy. It's funny, he's just, I don't know how you walk away from art for 15 years and then just like reemerge and be able to do these incredibly epic and just like amazingly high quality artworks. All of his artwork in this game is like unreal. Like he never stopped and just got better and better over the years. He actually asked me, he's like, what do you think of, he referenced like one of his old Magic artworks. He's like, tell me what do you think about that one compared to, and then I forget which one. He said one of his Sorcery artworks. What do you think about that? Maybe it was a Nui Undyne, I want to say. And I was like, well, I don't know what he was getting at with the question. I was just like, I don't know. They both look freaking amazing. What do you want me to say? And he was like, that's it. He's like, great. That's what I was hoping to hear. They're like, I haven't atrophied my skills and gotten worse. I was like, no, not at all, man. I mean, I was stunned that he hadn't been painting all these years. But this one, I'm pretty sure he told me that Eric just said, like, I forget if he told him it was just a hand. I think maybe it was a wizard coming out of the ground or out of the woods. And then he just came up with all these other ideas. It was like this necromancer summoning the dead. So that's what you have going on in the background, actually. But then this hand becomes the focal point, where it's this body like rising up as the necromancer summons him. Man, that's a freaking awesome artwork. Guy's like super creative. All right, Bedrock. Very interesting here. Adam Kaspar. Is it Kaspar? Yeah. Kaspar. All right, so Adam Kaspar, we don't know much about him, right? He emerged kind of like later on. I was like, hey, Eric, I found this artwork on the internet, or this card, and I was like, is this part of the set? Like, did you commission this guy? And he's like, yeah, he confirmed. It's the only artwork that I know of that he's done, or that I believe is slated for Alpha. And very interesting, he is friends with Mikkel Nagy-Paul. They knew each other early on. I think Mikkel actually... Mikkel's the guy that did all the frog artwork, the towers, which are another like basic Atlas land source. Beautiful cards inspired by real monuments around the world. But Mikkel recommended this guy to Adam to Eric, and said he's like one of the best landscape artists in Mikkel's opinion in all of Eastern Europe. I think he's from he's from Slovakia, I want to say. And yeah, look at it. Look at the bedrock. It looks like real bedrock. I mean, there's just so much detail. I posted some pictures of a painting he did. I think it was at a school. He did like a wall-sized mural um, of just like the scenic landscape, and it was unreal. He was standing next to this wall of his art. It's on the Facebook group. Go check it out. Guy's unbelievably talented. All these artists are just out of this world. All right, so we got Aranja Arts. So the remote desert, one of her 3 lands for the fire decks. So those ones are special because these Atlas cards are particularly rare and just a meaningful staple in the game. There we go. Another Rail Dromedary. There's a lot of interest in this card just because of the stories Eric has told and some of the hand embellished prints that Kyle has done. So I won't belabor that. You go watch my other videos to figure that out. Wow, Sandstorm. Man, that's great to see in person. I love this one by Drew. Man, this is just so epic. He's so good. How it just naturally blends into the background, like when you see it and really focus in and look closely. These little soldiers in the back, just kind of they're more obscured, and then as they come closer to the focal point for the viewer, there's more and more detail. Man, it's the depth and texture of that card is wild. Drew's unbelievable. Cloud Spirit, another one from Mr. Mikhail Nagypal, who I was just talking about. So, at first I didn't get what was going on here, but you look a little closely, and there's this spirit in the cloud, right? This outline of this body. I forget the term of what that's called. I did a behind the art feature article on this one, so go check it out. Mikhail told me the story of how he came up with this, and it was actually inspired by another artwork he had done prior to Sorcery. That he was able to redo and reimagine in a different way that fit and suited the game. All right, Rattlesnakes, Mikhail Nagypal again. Look at those snakes, man. So much detail, so much color. Wow. That might have been in the collector tier as well, too. He's so good. He did a couple repaints for a few guys, and he did them like super fast, like in a weekend. It took like 3 or 4 weeks for it to dry and ship, but he did an amazing job. Like it looks like he completely replicated it from scratch. Oh man, Cauldron Drones by Drew Tucker, another phenomenal artwork by him. Just the color and again the texture and the depth. It looks amazing, and like these flames kind of come up and seem like they emerge into these 2 bodies, like the figure of a woman and then some other kind of being that you can't quite make out, and you just wonder like what's going on here. Spellcaster, ordinary mortals brewing with ill intent. So yeah, there you go. It's 2 mortals brewing something that's not so nice. That's a good one. Cave Trolls, Drew Tucker, another one. These hilarious 2 troll guys, and this one kind of like menacingly laughing, and this one's got this grimace on his face, like a typical troll in a cave doing devious things. The Muck Lampreys, here we go. Here's one, another one by Vasily. All of his work is really interesting. I think when Eric talked about Vasily's work for the collector tier allocation, he talked about how he gave like Vasily some high level direction, and he would just come back spot on, and he just loved his work and loved what he came back with. There was very little rework and iteration that had to happen with him, so good for him. All right, Lindsay Crumette. Lindsay has 8 to 10 artworks, I want to say. It looks like for Alpha and Scarecrow. That's a cool one. She does her work. I think she did all of hers on canvas. I helped her sell a couple, or actually she had sold all of her artworks pretty early on, and then a couple guys resold a couple. So I was able to see a few of hers in person. The Palabury Bats and the Wizard. Was it? No, the Wizard was by Aussie. I want to say maybe there was just the Bats by Lindsay, and it was just so amazing, like seeing it in person, like the color quality and the detail. She's like amazingly talented. Her Ancient Dragon artwork is one of the first art pieces I fell in love with for this game. Rimland Nomads. Man, this is another great one by Elvira. Again, I was talking earlier about how super creative she is, how she comes up with these amazing concepts, and just the detail and the execution is just second to none. All her artworks are phenomenal for this game. Here's another one by Vincent Pompetti. So again, all his artworks are in his watercolor style. So some people like really gravitate to these and love them. his whole portfolio of work is like this. He does so many publications and comics books and things. Um, really great guy. And again, Sandworm. So there you go. Another one by Vincent Pompetti. And then I drop one here. Drew Tucker, the Fey Changeling. Yeah, this is the first one. So you got this like little creature or monster carrying this baby off and leaving this like monster in the cradle. Man, that's hilarious. This changeling may be played on any occupied site. Unsummon target minion there when you do. So you're unsummoning this child or this baby. Man, it's devious. That's funny. All right, so we got this massive lot of cards. Man, we're at 30 minutes. Should I keep going? Did I keep going? I don't know. Some people complain these videos are too long. Let me just spread them out. We'll kill this one, and then we'll see what's in that, going on with that Flesh and Blood box. And make sure there's sorcery cards in there and see which ones. I'm pretty sure, we didn't see the uniques in here. So there we go. Scoot into frame. Man, look at that. Look at all those cards. All right, so the uniques must be in the other box. So we're going to have a separate unique box feature. But thanks for hanging in, guys. You saw a lot of awesome cards here today. Yeah, again, like this is going to be the largest sample card collection in the world you're likely to find on YouTube. I know the 4 Avatar of the Realm tiers are going to get 12 packs each. So if those all get open, maybe those will be featured. But hopefully you like the unique aspects I bring to the channel here. I'm trying to document the history of sorcery. These are not my cards. Sometimes people share with me or, vet them through me for sale across the community. But yeah, just love to share it. Love sharing the stories about the artists, and I'm very involved in the community and with the artists directly. So hope you guys are enjoying it. Please like and subscribe and share, and help grow the Great Sorcerer community. Thank you guys. We'll work on the next one soon here with the uniques. Take care.